Hello.
Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes. Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So welcome to Sahaja Yoga Going Deeper. Today's theme will be ether, the element of ether. So let's start the meditation.
So, all of you who have, or all of us who have done the foot sock, so we have already used two of the elements, the water element, and the salt in the water is the earth element. And we continue with the earth element. We can, I think not all of you have said or know the Ganesha Tarvashirsha, which we will listen to today. So it is a long mantra, you can say. It's a description of Sri Ganesha's qualities, but also a prayer that he protects us. So this prayer is in Sanskrit and it is with English text. And while we say it or listen to it, we can put our right hand on Mother Earth. And if you have ready the ice pack, we can also use the ice pack and put it on the liver. And you can have the ice pack as long as you feel comfortable with. Just put it away if it's too cold. So, but we can, before we start with all this, we raise our Kundalini and give us a bandhan. So right hand on Mother Earth or towards Mother Earth. And we go inside us. We take our intention inside. And we can have it also, the attention on top of our head, on our Sahasrara. And try to go already now into thoughtless awareness. So now we can start with the Ganesha Atharvashirsha. So we can start with the video from the Ganesha Atharvashirsha.
Om Namaste Ganapataye Swamiva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Swamiva Kevalam Kartasi Tvameva kevalam dartasi. Tvameva kevalam dartasi. Tvameva sarvam kalvidam brahmasi. Tvam sakshadatmasi nityam. Ritam vashmi satyam vashmi. Avatvamam avavaktaram. Avashrutaram avadataram avadataram avanucharam avashishyam avapashchatat avapurastat avotaratat avadakshinatat avacharvatat avadaratat sarvatomam pahi pahi samantat tvam vanmayas tvam chinmayas tvam arandamayas tvam brahmamayas tvam satchit ananda vidyosi tvam pratyaksham brahmasi tvam jnanamayo vidyamayosi sarvam jagadidam tvato jayate sarvam jagadidam tvatastishthati sarvam jagadidam tvahi layameshyati sarvam jagadidam tvahi pratyeti tvam bhumirapo nalo nilo navam tvam chatvari vakpadani tvam gunatrayatita tvam dehatrayatita tvam kalatrayatita tvam muladharashitosi nityam tvam shakti trayatmaka tvam yogino dhyayanti nityam tvam brahma tvam vishnus tvam rudras tvam indras tvam agnis tvam vayus tvam suryas tvam chandramas tvam brahma bhuvasvaram ganadim purvamusharya varnadim taranantaram anushvara paratara ardendulasitam tarena ridham etatava manushvarupam gakara purvarupam akaro madhyamarupam anushvarashantya rupam bindu Sandurutara-rupam Nada-sandanam Sanita-sandhi Saisha Ganesha Vidya Ganakarishi Nishrit Gayatri Chanda Ganapatir Devata Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Danti Prachodayat Ekadantam Chaturhasam Vasham Ankushadarinam Radam Chavaradam Hastairviranam Mushakadvajam Raktam Lambodaram Shurvakarnakam Rakta-vasasam Rakta-gandhanuliptangam Rakta-pushpai supojitam Bhaktanu-kampinam devam Jagat-karanam achyutam Avirbhutam Shashishtyarao Prakrite Purushat Param Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam Sa Yogi Yoginam Vara Namo Vratapataye Namo Ganapataye Namah Pramatapataye Namaste Lambodarayaka-dantaya Vignanashine Shiva-sutaya Shri Varamurtaye Namo Namah Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namah
And this Ganesha Tavashirsha is also in the songbook that Göran sent out. So if you want, you can read it in your meditation at home also. So we can still be on the element Earth, and we can put both our hands on Mother Earth. Please, Mother Earth, suck out all the negativities and all the sins in me. We can take the mantra to Shri Adi Bhumi Devi.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha
I quote from Sri Mataji. Mother Earth gives you that innocence by which you develop that principle within you. It is a very important principle. It's such a pure principle. We can take up both our hands on our lap. And those of you who did not take away the ice pack, you can do it now. So now we had the earth element and the water element. The fire element is in the Svadhisthana. And for this we can do candling. But we do it not when it's so hot and so much sun. And these first three elements are easily cleared through futsok. It would be good if we can do it every day. And the elements, they go, it's Mother Earth is the gross, one of the most gross elements. Then comes the water, then the fire. And all become more and more subtle. So then the air. And then the ether is the subtlest of all. So it's like we go from the Muladhara in our meditation up through all the chakras. And from Vishuddhi is the ether. The Agya is only the light. And the Sahasrara is the most subtle one. So we go from the gross material up to the most subtle. So now we can go to our heart, where the element air is. And there are some breathing exercises for this. So when we breathe in slowly, and we hold the breath, and then we breathe out slowly. And don't breathe in, hold it. And we breathe in again slowly. Hold the breath. And breathe out slowly. And don't breathe. And again, breathe in slowly. Hold it. And breathe out. And now we try to breathe less. And we observe our breathing. We can also put our right hand on our center heart and just feel how we breathe in and breathe out. And we can feel the joy of being alive, of our existence, the joy of meditating with each other. We can say also the mantra to Sri Jagadamba Durga Mata.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jagadamba Durga Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
And we put our right hand on our left heart. We try to feel our spirit, the Atma. That's what we really are. Pure spirit or Atma. And nothing else. We leave everything behind and just become thoughtless. Just leave everything. Just take this step. Just leave everything behind. All our worries, all our fears, all our planning, everything. Just leave everything behind. And just go to the thoughtless awareness. We can take back the right hand on our lap. The ether element is the quality of the Vishuddhi chakra. And I quote Sri Mataji. When a seeker ascends, he attains subtle akasha or ether. There is no need to activate this element. If a seeker has some problem, this element is omnipresent. It is present everywhere. Your attention immediately reaches where it is required. And the quality of Sri Krishna is collectivity. That we are all one, we are all connected. We are part and parcel of the whole. You can say the mantra to Sri Radha Krishna.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Radha Krishna Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
Now we can put our right hand on the forehead on our agya. And here we can say from our hearts, I forgive. I forgive everyone for everything. And I also forgive myself. We can take back our hand. And we can put our right hand on our Sahasrara and massage it a little bit. And we can put it back. And with the attention on the top of our head, we can now sing the 3 Sahasrara mantras. So please the video of the Sahasrara mantras.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani And now we will watch a video. It's about the ether element. It's information and also combined with the speech from Sri Mataji. So we can see the video.
Sahaja yogis are very familiar with the four elements: fire, water, earth, and air. As a matter of fact, we request the help of those elements on a daily basis. From a simple foot soak to a candle treatment, we could not imagine our spiritual life without them. They help us clean our chakras, surrender our problems, and evolve our spiritual ascent. But there's also a fifth element that can help us in our spiritual journey, an element that we can't see, smell, or touch, but that nevertheless is very powerful: ether. You might think, but if we can't see or touch it, how can it actually help us? And what exactly is ether? Good question. If you would ask a doctor, he would say, "Of course I know what ether is. It is a solvent for anesthetics. That's what it is." Correct, but that is not the ether we are talking about. A physicist would be convinced that ether is a medium for the propagation of light in a vacuum. Sure. But a philosopher, yes, a philosopher would be much closer, because they studied Aristotle. And he knew that ether is the fifth element. Aristotle explained that fire, earth, air, and water are earthly and corruptible, but the stars in the heavenly regions must be made of a different, unchangeable heavenly substance. Ether, or Akash in Sanskrit, is indeed a divine substance that exists across the entire creation, and not only in the heavenly regions. It is in the essence of emptiness, the space that the other elements fill and therefore the most subtle one. The origin of ether is the primordial sound and the space from which vibrations emerge long before it takes the form of sound in the ear. William Shakespeare tried to explain it in a scene of his play The Merchant of Venice, when Lorenzo talks to his beloved Jessica how each star gives up a kind of music too subtle for human ears to hear. He says that the same harmony is in human souls, but again, too subtle for us to hear.
How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here we will sit and let the sounds of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Sit, Jessica. Look how the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdest, but in his motion like an angel sings, still choiring to the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls. But whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it.
Ether is controlled by Sri Krishna, the Blue Lord of ethereal infinity. Sri Krishna incarnated to open another horizon in human understanding. By his incarnation, the human imagination started to understand about the great primordial being. First, the concept of God was created mentally on the ethereal level and prepared an image of the divine. Then, the Kundalini, by its manifestation, introduced the reality. She actualized all principles of God and the Spirit. These projections were created for us to be prepared to recognize Shri Mataji. Ether is the most subtle of all the elements, and the subtlety of it is under the command of Sri Hanumana.
Then he can fly in the air. Just he doesn't have any wings, but he can just fly in the air. That means he can become so big that the amount of air he displaces has a much more weight than his own weight. Just the same principle Archimedes, if you know the Archimedes principle. That he becomes so big that his body starts floating in the air. Like a boat, you see, you can call it. And he can fly in the air. And by flying in the air, he can carry the message from one to another through the ether. Now the subtle of the ether that we have is under the command of Sri Hanumana. He is the one who controls, or is the lord of this ether, the subtle of the ether, or say the causal of the ether. And through it, it communicates. All the communications that you find, like we have within ourselves also ductless glands, which a pituitary is using ductless glands, is through Hanumana's movement. Because he can go into a nirakar, he can go into a formless state. Also the communications we know, for this communication that we have, maybe we can say that we have got a loudspeaker. But we have a television, we have got radios and all those things. Where we catch on to the ether anything is all the blessings of Hanumana. and are available to people who are right-sided. Only the right-sided people discover these things of the space, which we call as a cordless telephone or a thing without. We have also telegraphs and where we don't use any wires. So without any connection, through the ether, he can manage. So all the ethereal connections has been done by this great engineer, Sri Hanumana. And it is so perfect, it's so perfect, that you cannot challenge it and you cannot find faults with it. Maybe your instruments may not be all right, but as far as his ethereal work is concerned, he is perfectly there. Now the scientists discover it and think that it is in the nature, but they never think, how can it be? We say something in the ether, and how is it is received on the other end? They just take it for granted that it is so, that we say something here or we relay something on the television and it is seen the other side. But they never even think or search out how it is done, what is the way. And this is what is the work of Sri Hanumana, who has done such a beautiful network. And through that network, all these things work out.
Ether, when enlightened, communicates ideas which are divine and carries them out. To achieve an ethereal state, we have to be in thoughtless awareness. From there, we need to expand. We have to go much deeper within ourselves to touch our essences. It works like a broadcast. Everything that has been put into the ether can be received anywhere. And just like a radio receives messages through the ether, we can receive messages about others and about things that are happening. We become collectively conscious and collectively active by simply putting the attention on someone or something. The ether goes and acts it out, always ready to work out the divine work. With this, humanity becomes peaceful. There is no quarrel. There is no jealousy, because you know that you are part and parcel of one personality.
Attention! Now we have a cartoon.
It's called cartoon.
Attention! Now we have a cartoon.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was very curious. One day, it was raining, and she looked at her parents' bookshelf. She found a magazine called The Divine Cool Breeze and started reading it. There she found out about an element called ether. She couldn't understand the explanation, so she went to her mom and asked, "Mom, what is ether?" Her mom looked at her and said, "Ether is everywhere where there is nothing, and because it fills the nothing, it connects everything." The girl was confused. "But if it is nothing, how can it exist?" "Oh, it does exist," her mother smiled. "Just that you can't see it, but it is in the tiniest spaces." "Oh, is it like a raindrop?" asked the girl. "Yes, in a way it is like a raindrop. Just imagine that this drop would carry space instead of water. Very special space." "But what is so special about that space?" wondered the girl. "Oh, this one is special because this space talks to God and is part of the divine." So where was it made? In heaven? Said the girl after a few seconds of silence. Ether started by sound, created by the divine. The sound traveled by filling the space, and it can travel anywhere and everywhere. Ether is a medium to prepare the follow-up for our pure desires. What? I don't think I understand it better now. Well, see, when your brother plays the flute, the desire is to make sound that pleases the divine. He uses his breath and the flute, and the sound gets made. Sometimes more pleasing to us than other times, I know. Sometimes a lot of practice is needed, says the mother, wincing on some wrong sharp sounds. Mama, is it painful for the divine to hear it before the sounds get pleasing? No, sweetie. Ether takes care that it will only travel to divine ears once it sounds pleasing. And it will be pleasing if it is offered with a pure heart, no matter how the sound seems to us. And we can just close the door for a bit. Thank you for watching our video. Sri Mataji's words are the true source of our knowledge. We hope they have been communicated in the right context for our series on advanced Sahaja Yoga themes. Please subscribe so you can join us next time when we present a new topic. Jai Shri Mataji.
Now we can meditate a little bit with the music.
Pleasure has more than one
So we can conclude today's program with lifting the Kundalini and taking Bandhan.